Hey everyone, this is John Coleman. Welcome back to another episode of Friends with Your Benefits. You may have heard under the newly passed Inflation Reduction Act, there are some big changes coming to Medicare Part D. Today we're going to cut through the talking points and show you how these changes will impact your bottom line. If you're an employer, make sure to watch to the very end because we will go through how these changes may impact your under 65 plan designs. In addition, a lot of today's data actually comes from the Kaiser Family Foundation, and we'll include a link to the source data in the comments below. So to begin, the first thing we'll talk about are the insulin changes that are coming to Medicare Part D. So today, the typical senior can expect an out-of-pocket cost to pay about $55 per month for the cost of insulin, and starting in 2023, the most a senior will be required to pay will be $35 for insulin, and that amounts to a savings of almost $250 per year. Second, any vaccines that are covered by Medicare Part D will be covered at no cost to you starting in 2023, and this will really help seniors out as it relates to vaccines such as shingles. Third, we all know that the standard Medicare Part D plan design is crazy complicated. You have your $480 deductible, and then you pay 25% coinsurance, and then eventually you may hit this thing called the donut hole, where you're also paying 25%, and if you happen to make your way through the donut hole, you're paying 5% coinsurance. Good news for seniors, starting 2024, that 5% coinsurance is eliminated, and you'll be paying $0 once you reach that catastrophic phase. Next, Medicare Part D premiums will become more affordable for low-income seniors starting in 2024. If you happen to make less than $15,500 a year for an individual, or about 2 times that, or we'll call it $32,000 a year for a couple, you'll qualify for reduced premiums for Medicare Part D, as well as potentially reduced out-of-pocket copays. And finally, starting in 2025, Medicare Part D will have its first ever out-of-pocket maximum. And in 2025, the most a senior can expect to pay in out-of-pocket cost will be $2,000 a year for Medicare Part D. Congress also included some real technical changes as it relates to the Medicare Part D plan design, and that includes paying insurance companies less money if someone happens to have a ton of drug spend. So while all these changes will go a long way towards helping those who are enrolled in Medicare Part D, savvy seniors out there probably recognize that Medicare Part D premiums should increase in the future. If we do some rough calculation, the cost of all these enhancements, and on the backside, some of the technical changes, will amount to about a 40% increase in Medicare Part D premiums. In designing the healthcare portion of the Inflation Reduction Act, Congress recognized that some of these changes could have a huge impact on Medicare Part D premiums, and from 2024 all the way out to 2030, the maximum increase that insurance companies can charge for these enhancements is going to be 6% per year, which equates out to a premium increase to seniors of roughly $2 to $3 per month. Now, in order to incentivize insurance companies to continue offering Medicare Part D premiums to seniors, the federal government is going to serve as the backstop, and any increases beyond 6% per year will be covered directly by the federal government. Lastly, to keep the cost of prescription drugs down, the federal government is going to require that certain brand manufacturers pay rebates to Medicare if the cost of certain brand medications actually increase faster than inflation. From there, in 2026, the federal government is going to require negotiations on certain very expensive medications that Medicare and insurance companies pay for. More to come on that in the future. So John, what about the downsides of this healthcare bill? So some may argue that by requiring prescription drug companies to pay rebates to Medicare and also require negotiations on certain super expensive medications, that pharmaceutical manufacturers are going to be less likely to develop innovative products that happen to provide life-altering or life-saving treatment in the future. In addition, since all these changes really apply to the Medicare population, it can be argued that prescription drug manufacturers may actually shift all their costs to the under 65 population, impacting employer-sponsored healthcare. If that's the case, expect to see big increases in premiums in the future. Before we close out, you may have heard that there was previously a provision in the healthcare portion of the bill to actually cap the cost of insulin to $35 for under 65 plans or employer plans as well. While that provision actually failed, there are a few things that employers can do to reduce the cost of insulin for their members. And in a future video, we will go through that for you. Definitely went through a lot of information here, and we want to hear from you. If you want us to make a follow-up video or learn a little bit more details on some of these Medicare Part D changes, feel free to reach out directly or comment below. As always, we encourage you to like the video, share, and until next time, thank you for joining.